Plyometrics, or explosive or jumping exercises, are an awesome way to build power and strength. However, they carry with them an increased risk of injury. Explosive movements put a lot of strain on your tendons and ligaments and the muscles themselves. So be sure before you start these exercises that you can perform the non-jumping or the non-explosive exercise with excellent form very confidently first before you're ready to add the jump or the explosive portion in. Okay? So let me give you an example. Let's say that the exercise is a jump squat. You can do the full jump squat if you can do it with good form and you're not compromising your lower back or your knees or anything else. Or you could do a regular squat and work your way down to parallel hip crease to your knee, or even lower than parallel. If you can do that with good form, that's a nice progression. You could also start just adding a little hop to work your way up to that full move. Loose hops are a super fun plyometric move, and they're great to use in a warm-up before you, say, go out for a run, okay? And they just kind of get your legs ready for some bouncing, okay? The way you perform them is just really relax your upper body and your shoulders and your arms, and you're just going to come up onto your toes and let your arms kind of flop around. Almost let your shoulders shrug. For toe taps, you're going to need either a heavy ball, like what I've got here is just a light med ball, that's going to kind of not move very much as I'm tapping it. And if that's not quite working, you could just use a step, okay? The idea is that you're going to tap your toe on top of the ball or the step with your weight still on this back leg. And then you're going to switch sides, okay? So the non-plyometric or the non-jumping version of this exercise would simply be here. Just marching and tapping that toe. And then if you feel ready, maybe just do some slow jumps before increasing your speed. And once you get the rhythm of that, you can start to take it out and see how quickly you can do. Notice that my weight is still back on my back legs. So for single leg lateral hop, we're simply going to pick a line that's already on our flooring. You probably can't see it here, but I've got where my tiles come together, these rubber tiles. Or you can simply put a piece of masking tape down on the floor. And we're going to just balance on one leg and hop to one side and then back to the other over that line. I like to use my arms for a little bit of swing. And we're going to do that all the way to fatigue. Okay, switching to the other leg, and you might find you have one leg that's stronger than the other. Similarly, let's talk about the split squat, or jumping lunges as they're sometimes called. If you can do a regular lunge with great form, you can start doing a split squat. If, for example, you notice that your knees are wobbling all over the place, maybe you're coming down and your knees are collapsing in, you're not ready for that plyometric move. Just work on stacking those knees in order, keeping your ankles and feet in order, and working your way down lower and lower until you can tap that back knee and maintain good posture and nice alignment with your legs. Then you can start to add the jumps. You can even, rather than switching legs like I was just showing, just do a little hop at the top as a nice way to progress. We're going to do some side-to-side bench hops. So I have here a nice Plyo box that works really well. You could also just use a chair, or if you're lucky enough to have a proper long weight bench, that's the best option. You're going to place your hands near the front of your bench, and then you're going to work with both feet leaving the ground at the same time. You're going to hop over to the other side. So hopping up nice and high, like that. But we're going to try to minimize our landing time, so we're hopping pretty quickly side to side. For the plyometric push-up or the plyo push-up, you can either use the wall or a door, as I'm going to demonstrate, or if you're strong enough with your regular push-ups, you can go all the way down to the floor and even add a clap in the middle. We're going to simply put our hands onto a flat, strong, solid surface, walk our feet backwards. We're going to lower down until our forehead almost touches that wall, and then press up. Keeping our body in a nice straight line. Good. Okay. For the broad jump, you're going to make sure that your feet are wider than hip width apart. You're going to come down as low as you think you need to have some good propulsion. You're going to make sure that both feet leave at the same time. This is not a skip. It's not one leg. It's both legs leaving at the same time and also landing at the same time, trying to get as far forward as possible. Okay, so we're squatting down and then throwing our arms forward before shuffling back. Good. Same thing again. Squatting down, reaching forward, and shuffling back. For this box over burpee, you're going to need either a step or a bench or a box or a chair, something that is right around knee height, a little higher if you've got some pretty good fitness. And it's something that you're going to have to work to step over to get to the other side. We're going to perform a burpee on one side. We're going to come up, get over the box, and perform a burpee on the other side. And we're going to go back and forth. Now I'm going to give you some options. For the burpee itself, you can walk through the move slowly if you're not up for that plyometric jumping. So you're going to just set your hands down. You're going to walk your feet out one at a time. You can do a push-up even on your knees and make it a small one. And then walk your feet back in before you stand back up. If you want to do a regular burpee or a full plyometric burpee, you're going to put your hands down, jump your feet out together, come all the way down to your chest touching the mat before you press back up and stand up and jump. Okay, so a full burpee looks like this. Great. So we're going to do some version of burpee, and then we're going to either step or jump over the box. You can step sideways, like that, before you come down for your next burpee. Or you can walk up this way, forward step, before you come and do your burpee. If you're really feeling it, you can do a box jump before jumping over to the other side. And then come down for your burpee. Okay, so now we're ready to put it all together. We're going to burpee, get over the box, burpee on the other side, and back and forth. For the Bulgarian Split Squat, you'll need something that is roughly knee height or a little bit lower. I've got a box here, but you could use a bench or a chair or even a couch, maybe even your stairs if they're not too wide. And you're going to put one of your legs back on top of the edge of that surface. You're going to hop your front leg forward. You're going to drop this back knee straight down as you lunge. Okay? That is a basic Bulgarian split squat. You can do whatever you like with your arms. I kind of like runner's arms. And now let's talk about making that into a plyometric move. This is a pretty advanced move, but for those of you who are really ready to progress, you can do this as a plyometric move. Add a jump at the top. So you're going to come down like normal, and then we're just going to add a little hop at the top. There you go. Now, you might be able to jump higher than that. Fantastic. That's the next progression, is jumping a little higher. You might even be able to hold some weights to your side as you do those explosive movements, but that's a pretty advanced version. Make sure you're progressing in a realistic way before you add on weights and jumping.